Hi, I'm Max Crouch, and this is my collaboration reflection number 4. So today I'm going to demonstrate some conflict resolution and some different problem solving strategies that we can use when resolving conflict with families. So as teachers, sometimes we experience conflict with our students' families. To ensure healthy collaboration partnerships in the future, we understand how to resolve these conflicts in a professional and respectful manner. This is called conflict resolution. Teachers can use a variety of different strategies and communication skills to reach a conflict resolution. When families have worries about their students' education or experiencing crisis at home, they may respond to school staff with anger, fear, or resistance. In response, teachers should consider their own behaviors or prior beliefs and determine if these have an impact on the misunderstanding between families in the first place. Sometimes, teachers may regard some families as high maintenance. However, this can deter teachers from considering one's own biases.
Hey Max, did you hear the Stove family only eats cat food? I mean, now we have to feed Steve cat food every day.
Another conflict scenario may occur when teachers create power over relationships with families. In a power over relationship, there may be little to no collaboration between families and educators. This results in a lack of regard for their family's priorities and leads to gaps in information about the student's needs. So I know Steve is a growing cat now. I think we're going to give Steve 3 cups of milk per day and 2 scoops of kibble, and one around 7 a.m. and one around 9 p.m. Right now, we're really encouraging a healthy eating schedule in Steve's health class. In Steve's English class, we're really working on effective usage of the word meow. I'm going to provide him with an additional instruction and tutoring of his E and O vowel sounds. I think he has a good grasp of this, but I think we need to build a stronger base for his future meowing. In Steve's math class, we're working on a multitude of different angles and constructing height and trajectory scenarios for Steve's jumping. I'll provide him with specialized instruction in math twice a week for 30 minutes, and I think we really need to help Steve out with the rest of this. It is important that educators use equality and respect when communicating with parents to promote positive partnerships long term. Sometimes, a family's negative past experiences with the school or school staff may result in angry or hostile behaviors towards school educators. According to the text, Families, Professionals, and Exceptionality by Ann Turnbull, teachers can consider the following questions to determine their own preparation. Do I have confidence in my ability to conduct the conference? Do I know enough about the conference participants? Do I clearly understand the problem? Have I scheduled sufficient time for the conference? Have I developed a plan for action? Educators need to take time to address conflict collaboratively with families. Families and educators can use the laugh, don't cry method to conduct collaborate to solve disputes and conflicts with families. L. Listen, empathize, and communicate. A. Ask questions and ask permission to take notes. F. Focus on the issues. F. Find a first step. And the don't cry method is don't criticize, react hastily, or overshare information. Okay, so I understand that we've come to a conflict about Steve's physics grade and his trajectory homework problems in particular. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to take some notes and get some of your thoughts on Steve's physics homework.
Well, Steve's been calculating the trajectory of his jumps perfectly at home, and he hasn't even fallen once.
So I'm hearing you that Steve's jumps have been perfect lately, and he hasn't fallen once. And you're upset because you don't understand how his trajectory can be wrong in this physics class. So maybe we can do a one-on-one session with Steve to help Steve work on his jumps, and then conduct an assessment afterward to see where Steve is struggling and provide specialized instruction in that area. In creating conflict resolutions, teachers can also use mindfulness strategies to result in a calmer demeanor, compassion, and purposeful self-evaluation. Educators can then handle difficult situations more effectively. I am a tree, a long tree. Teachers should use the win-win approach strategy to understand other viewpoints on the conflict and to identify other options for creating resolutions. There are also 4 steps to the win-win approach. The first step is separating people from issues. Teachers should practice understanding conflicts with the other point of view and using active listening when other people are expressing their feelings. Okay, Miss Stove. So what do you think we need to do to address Steve's bathroom needs?
Ooh, well, in our culture, we prefer to use litter boxes as opposed to the conventional toilet as our means of disposing waste. Our ancestors have been using this method for years. All I'm asking you is if there's a way to incorporate litter boxes into Steve's day at school.
Wow, that sounds that's interesting. Thank you for helping me understand your concern. The next part of the win-win approach is focusing on interests, not positions, by identifying the interests underlying each side's opinion. So in your family, you use litter boxes at home and are interested in incorporating litter boxes at school because your culture and your ancestors have used this method for many years. Is that correct?
Yes.
The third step to win-win approaches is generating options by brainstorming all possible solutions. Okay, so let me know if you agree with any of these ideas.
Okay.
We could talk to the principal and janitors and try to get a litter box put into the bathrooms at the school. Or if you have an extra litter box at home, we could put one in one of the staff bathrooms nearby his classroom. And we could give Steve a key to this bathroom to use whenever he needs it. Do you have any other ideas?
You know, actually, I do think we have a little extra litter box at home, and I could bring it in next Monday.
Great. I can let the other school staff know which bathroom will be used by Steve and that he'll get an extra key.
Great.
Step 4 of win-win scenarios involves using objective criteria to develop and agree on principles based on scientific finding, professional standards, or legal precedents. So, just to recap, Ms. Stove, you were interested in having the litter box installed in the school bathrooms to maintain your cultural routines with Steve at home. We have agreed upon bringing a litter box from home to install in the staff bathroom near his classroom. I'm also going to give Steve a key to his bathroom and a notice to the other teachers of this change. Steve will then be able to use this bathroom as much as he needs.
Yeah, I agree with all of this. Thank you for listening to my concerns.
Cultural reciprocity encourages teachers to examine their own beliefs and values and practice these beliefs with families to avoid conflict. According to Turnbull, there are 4 steps in cultural reciprocity. They are as follows. Step 1. Recognize the cultural values and assumptions that are reflected in how a student's challenges might be perceived or in the recommendation of services. Step 2. Determine whether the family acknowledges and agrees with some of these beliefs, particularly the reasons behind the alignment or difference. Step 3. Acknowledge and provide clear respect for any difference and clarify the cultural foundation of this value or practice. Step 4. Identify the best way to modify professional interpretations or advice to align with the family's cultural beliefs. So, Steve has been struggling with his observations in environmental science lately, and he's been unable to go outside. To my understanding, Steve is an indoor cat. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he is.
So in my recommendation for services, Steve would have to do environmental observations from his view of the window. Do you think that would be an appropriate recommendation?
Yes, Steve is an indoor cat. However, he does have the option of going outside on our porch while he's being supervised. He could do some of his observations there.
Oh, I wasn't aware that of that. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
So Steve is an indoor cat, but does have supervised access to the back porch. So Steve can do his environmental observations from the window area or the back porch. In conclusion, conflict is a natural part of the human experience, and for teachers, it's inevitable. In large parts of relationships with families, conflicts are going to happen. However, educators should not be afraid of these conflicts because conflicts often allow teachers to learn more about the families. And if resolved successfully, they can create long-lasting partnerships and collaboration opportunities between teachers and families in the future.